Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. This is Dave with Gen 3D Tech. Today we're checking out the red edition of the Pulsar X2 Mini. So without further ado, let's get into it. Anyways, I'd like to first thank Lethal Gaming Gear for providing this review sample. Thanks very much. And if you have never checked them out, highly recommend them. Anyways, this is the X2 Mini. This is the red edition, and this is the X2 Medium, which I reviewed on my channel a couple months ago. This is one of the first batches of the X2 Mediums. Now, there were reports of QC issues with both the Mini and the Medium in early batches, and this right here has those issues supposedly resolved. I never personally had any QC issues on my first batch, which there's reports of grinding on the buttons and sometimes squeaking. Now I did see a breakdown of the new batches and the old batches on Reddit, and it looked like they put some screws and some tape on the inside to kind of secure the buttons better so they don't grind. Now there's a slight perceivable difference in the way the buttons feel and sound, but it's really small. For the most part, the mice have pretty much stayed the same. And from my personal experience, I haven't had any QC issues, but I definitely don't disregard the people that have had them. Now I'm going to try and keep this review fairly short, only because the internals of the two mice are the same, and I definitely went in depth on the review of the medium. If you haven't watched that, go ahead and check it out. It's a long, in-depth video. Now, as far as dimensions go, this mouse has a height of 115 millimeters and a width of 60 millimeters, depths of 36. Weight 52 grams, and we'll go ahead and check it on my scale. And as you can see, it's 52 grams on my scale. And in the box, you of course get a nice paracord cable, a red one like this, with a dongle and a USB adapter. And as you can see right here, they're nice enough to label their USB adapter. It says right here X2 size 1. Very cool. Now as you can see, the Mini is quite a bit shorter. It's hard to tell, but when it's in your hand, it definitely feels not as wide for sure. So if you had purchased the medium and you felt like it was too big or too wide, you might like the medium quite a bit. And as you can see from this angle, the medium is just a hair taller than the mini. Now initially I wasn't as excited about checking out the mini version of the X2 just because the mini of the X-Lite was so small that it was really hard to use other than a fingertip mouse, which is weird because it's an ergonomic mouse. Now, obviously this is a symmetrical mouse, and I do find the shape a lot more usable and the size really enjoyable. Now, the medium I also like, and it fits my hand like a glove, but I also like the way the X2 Mini fits my hand. And as you can see, it is straighter than most mice. A lot of mice will taper in. Like, for example, the G-Will's hati-s here definitely tapers in and gives you more of a locked-in feeling. Now, some people do like the straighter edges on the sides. It's just kind of a preference. I really don't care one way or another personally, but I do. People have really strong feelings about this. So if you're someone who doesn't like straight edges on your mouse, you're definitely going to want to avoid the X2 series. And if you're someone who likes it, then definitely check them out. Now, as far as the buttons go, they still got the Kale 8.0 switches that the originals have. The implementation on them is really good, nice and snappy. Scroll wheel is really good. You can shake this thing, it doesn't make any noise, no rattling, no nothing. There is a little bit of side travel when you move the buttons, but it's not very much, which is pretty much the same as it was on the medium. The coating is definitely kind of a slick coating, but it doesn't pick up fingerprints, which is really nice. I personally like the coating a lot. And weight wise, coming in at 52 grams compared to the 55 of the medium, they both feel really light and nice in the hand. And I definitely enjoy the slightly lighter weight of the mini. Now I'll go ahead and do a sound test on this just because some people might be curious of how the buttons sound compared to the first batch of the mediums. Now, as far as software goes, if you want to check that out, go ahead and check out my review for the X2 Medium. I cover that in there. It's exactly the same for the Mini. Price for this mouse is $95, and you can get it at Pulsar or you can get it at Lethal Gaming Gear. If you get it at Lethal Gaming Gear, you can use code Gen3D and save a couple dollars. You can also use a code of any of your favorite creators. The Lethal Gaming Gear is very supportive of creators, and there's a ton of different codes you can use. But definitely Gen3D will work, and you can save a couple dollars. So I've been using this mouse for the last couple weeks, and I've definitely enjoyed my time with it. Now, with the X-Lite Mini, I didn't enjoy it as much as I did the X-Lite V2, and the medium of the X2 I very much enjoyed. It's definitely one of my favorite shapes. It fits my 19 by 10 hands just perfectly like a glove. So this mouse has definitely been a winner for me. And I enjoyed it so much that I really didn't think I would like the Mini as much. So I didn't really rush out and get one of the first batches. But when I saw this little red one and I heard how much people enjoyed the Mini, I decided that I'd give it a shot. And I'm glad I did, because I really enjoy the X2 Mini much more than I did the X-Lite Mini. But like I said, I'm very surprised, because I love the X2 Medium so much that I really didn't think I would enjoy the Mini as much. But I found myself liking the Mini just a hair more than the Medium. And being in the red also just makes it look really sharp. Now, one thing I kind of wish that they had done is made the buttons and the scroll wheel like black, so it would just kind of offset the color just a little bit better. This red on red, it's cool, but it would have looked a lot better if they just offset it. That's really my only complaint about this mouse. And of course, on the bottom, it's got really nice skates, and it's open like all the X-Lite mice have always been. And their mice are very no frills, no RGB, and obviously with the X2 they've gone with a solid shell, and the build quality is still excellent. No creaking. It feels solid all over. So over this last year, I've definitely grown to enjoy lighter mice. So I definitely like the 52 grams. And I honestly enjoy mice that are also lighter. But at 52 grams, the weight distribution, the balance, it's really nice. This feels lighter than 52 grams to me. So all in all, what do you get? You get a nice lightweight mouse with a 3395 sensor for $95. Great implementation of KL 8.0 switches. Good side buttons. Very snappy. Mouse skates are pretty good, and there are third-party skates available for this mouse, along with third-party grips. So you got lots of good options. And if you own the X2 Medium, and you felt like maybe it's a little too big for you, but you like the shape of the mouse, then definitely check out the X2 Mini. or if you're just looking for a good small size mouse, this definitely fits the bill. And while there are people that complain about QC issues on the X2, which seems like there are a few more complaints than there definitely was with the X Lite, from my experience on all the Pulsar mice I've ever owned, I've never had any QC issues, but I definitely have heard people complain about them. But that is something to be cognizant of, so just keep that in mind. But they have made improvements on this second batch, so I believe a lot of the QC issues will be reduced to just the normal amount, that because every single mouse company has QC issues. It's impossible to not have them. So sometimes you're just gonna get unlucky, and I've got like almost 80 mice here, and I've only had 2 with QC issues. So all in all, chances are you could probably get a good mouse. Now I have a couple other small mice that I'm definitely gonna compare this mouse to in future videos that I'll be filming probably this week. So definitely stay tuned, because I'm going to talk more about the Mini in those videos and compare them to other smaller mice like the Xtrfy M8 and both the hati-s Ace and 4K. Anyways, that's all I got for this video. Hopefully you found it enjoyable and informative. If you did, please leave a like, and a sub would be nice. If not, no big deal. But I am getting close to 1,000 subs, so that would be cool if somehow I hit that before Christmas. But if not, no big deal. I'll keep trucking along, because I'm in it for the long haul. Lots more videos to come, and I'll see you on the next one. Later.